here we are at our local grocery store. This is Will It Beer 4 Challenge, and I don't know, you already mentioned green food coloring,
That's
right?
the one thing that I know that Tim will not want to brew with, and that's why, like, it won't affect the flavor at all, but I think it's going to be hilarious, and so I want to get green food coloring just for that.
Yeah, let's just kind of look around here. This is a lot bigger store than what we usually have right next door to us, so we have a lot of options to work with. A little schmello action going on there.
Lime jello looks pretty interesting. It's an idea. Hulk smash.
Throw it in. We'll figure it out when we get there.
I mean, other than being highly acidic, there's really nothing wrong with just a regular thing of soda. It's got the same food coloring kind of vibe going on, but
I think we might be onto something. Soda,
like maybe
we got some gelatin.
Yeah, it's kind of screaming that high school dance punch that you never really wanted to get into, but you know.
All right, I think we got our theme. I think we're gonna stick with this and keep going.
Let's do it. Let's give them a couple different options. They don't have to use all of the soda, obviously, but if they want to pick between which soda they want to use, I think that sounds kind of fun. Sierra Mist is kind of classic. I think we got to get some ginger ale in there too.
So much soda.
They're gonna need it if they want it to come through, I feel like. Do bold ginger ale. I'm guessing that's gonna be more like ginger beer, where it's hella gingery. Oh, we'll see. I got no idea.
That's a car full of soda right there.
We got some jello in there.
Did it have any sorbet? I like your idea of the sorbet.
For this to come through, I feel like they'd have to use 2, which means we'd be in the hole about $26. Ooh.
Yeah, no go.
Let's go frozen fruit. That sounds better.
That is quite the card.
Yep.
So yeah, we might have also grabbed some good lunch and other things. So we're gonna get back to the shop now. We've got Tim, our awesome brewer in-house today, going up against Reese from Natural 20 Brewing. Yep. And I'm kind of excited for what we're going to throw at them. I think they're going to be thrown off a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're thinking something a little bit tangential to what we've got planned for them.
All right, let's get back to the shop.
So Tim and Reese don't know yet what we got in store for them. They don't even know the really fun theme that we picked out this morning when we were at the store. So we're going to drop these very, very mysterious bags right next to them, and then let them open up at the same time and start figuring out what they want to do.
Okay, that I can work with.
Okay. Definitely,
Oh my gosh.
yes. You know, I'm going to be honest, I was actually kind of hoping there was going to be a little bit of fruitiness.
All right, so we've given them a couple minutes to kind of figure out what their strategies are going to be going into this beer. So let's, let's see what we're thinking.
So my plan is to really push that whole high school punch aesthetic. So I'm going to be adding some lactose for some creaminess, some oats for some extra body. I'm going to mostly focus on the sweeter side of the sodas. So I'm going to use more of the orange than I do like the citrusy ones. And when it comes to hops, I'm going to be really pushing that fruity, citrusy notes and try and get a nice, really high fine carb on the end of it. So it really kind of brings you back to high school days, not getting drunk from the punch bowl.
I don't think we ever got drunk at all.
Never.
Still have.
So I'm going to roll into the Spodi here, this nice, good tropical theme. Going to do a nice milkshake IPA on that, fermented out with some Loki, good fruitiness, little experimental hops, some galaxies for some flair, really enhance that juiciness. I think the ginger ale is going to be really nice on that background. We'll see if it needs a little bit of acidification in the back end on that for some extra tasty num-nums. So now we're gonna get some grains going so I can Hulk smash the competition. It's got no response for that. I'm definitely gonna win. We're using the Heidelberg for its extra lightness. And we're gonna add some white wheat malt. Get some extra good num-nums in there. We're gonna go for a little golden naked oats. Really spice this puppy up. 1.75 pounds, sounds perfect. So I already pre-put my flake grains right down on the bottom because I enjoy doing that. We're gonna weigh out some rice hulls to put on top of those. So I'm gonna take this time to do some water chems. I want to add a little bit more minerality coming out of this, so that's gonna really help out that nice New England style, in my opinions. Plus, you always need some ascorbics. This stuff helps preserve your dry hops in your beers. Plus, it's vitamin C, and that's kind of what we're making here. I'm going to precisely measure this out into a couple grams. Precise. Like, precise. Calcium chloride, gypsum is what I added before. This is going to give you that nice, good mineral bite out of it. Sea salts, don't use the iodine stuff. You don't need much, you just need a little pinch, a little pinchy pinch. And Reese thought he was using a lot of grains.
Tim's playing Will It Fit.
I still have plenty of room.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of room.
So I'm going to start with 2 rows of base. I'm going to add just a little bit more acidity with a half a pound of honey malt. I'm adding rolled oats to give it a little extra body, just because I want it to really get that kind of creaminess that you normally have by like adding ice cream to the school punch setup. And I'm going to layer in my frozen fruit. Maybe I will. Dump her in. I am cooling down our sparge water.
This guy doesn't sparge with boiling water. I don't know who he is.
I'm looking for about a liter of the Sierra Mist and a liter of the Canada Dry, and then the whole 2 liter of the Orange Crush.
Hashtag science.
Okay, so at this point I'm going to be adding my soda mixture. Again, this is half crush, a quarter Sierra Mist, and a quarter ginger ale. And that brings us right about to our 6.5 gallons.
I like to
Check this like 6 times. Cool. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be yet, but I'll find out.
One is distinctly orangier than the other one.
That's for sure. Here we have 1 ounce of Columbus hops. We're going to very carefully add it to the beer. Well, in about 1 minute and 50 seconds, we're going to be adding some hops. We already actually added, off camera, a combination of sweet and bitter orange peel. We're really trying to push that very, very heavy orange taste. And so after we add our first hop addition well, not first, but our next hop addition, we'll have about 5 minutes left in the boil. We'll hit it with another hop addition and add our lactose before we start chilling. This is our 5-minute addition. We still have a that was my Mandrina Bavaria hops. Same thing we're doing for our 0-minute hop edition. We're pushing that citrus orange flavor as far as we can go. So we're going to be adding our chiller so it gets sanitized by the boil. And then we're going to be adding our last hop addition. Same thing as before. And we're going to add our lactose to make things nice and creamy. Just how we all like it.
And how much lactose are we adding?
We're adding 1 pound of lactose.
Woo!
And that is flame out. So we're going to turn this sucker off so we're not producing any more heat. And we're going to start chilling here pretty quick. We are sitting at 76 degrees. The yeast that we're using is citrus yeast, or by Imperial, and that actually ferments all the way up to 80 degrees. So let's drop some beer.
All right. I am now sparging. I'm going to sparg with a little bit of orange soda. Who loves orange soda? Just a little bit right on top to extract all those good grain sugars, because you know the carbonation extracts sugars better. That's a scientific fact. Google it.
That's all. Somebody grab it all.
So I discovered Reese did not use all of his dry Canada ginger ale, so I'm going to. Plug. I'm throwing in some wonderful HBC 586. We're gonna do a whirlpool edition of hops. You notice you only saw one more. I don't like to throw in a lot of boiling hops on hazies or milkshakes. I like it all in the whirlpool. We're gonna do some more HBC 586. We're gonna do a little Galaxy and some Cascade Cryos. Really punch out that nice citrusiness in there. Let's do this. I didn't mess it up yet. Stir this up, make sure that lactose gets good and mixed in. Then we'll give it about 20 minutes to sit on those whirlpool hops. Gonna be good! Ready to transfer our stuff. We're just sanitizing our fermentation bucket right now. I chose to do that with really hot water because it was here and why not? So we're gonna dump that out, transfer the beer into it, and pitch our yeast. And actually one thing I did forget to prepare is some yeast nutrients. And the reason why is because I am using some Loki or Voss quake yeast. So we do need to oxidate the crap out of this and then add some butt ton of nutrients to it as well. But let's start our transfer off and then we'll get the nutrients going. We're gonna toss some yeast into it. There we go, inoculation. Now, normally I would say when you're making a 5-gallon batch on quake, you're only gonna use a teaspoon, please don't do that. You're gonna use a teaspoon of it. You're not gonna use very much of the slurry. For us, I don't wanna waste the whole package on it, so I'm gonna use the whole thing, which means I'm gonna get actually less phenolics and esters coming off of it. But in all honesty, in this beer, I think it's gonna be okay.
After 1 week, both Tim and Reese's beers were more or less complete with their primary fermentations. At this point, Reese decided to dry hop his beer and also add in about half his pack of gelatin. Tim, on the other hand, took a little different route. At this point, he added all of his fruit and also added another healthy dry hop addition. Tim had something special planned for his gelatin. After this, the beers both sat for another 5 or so days before we got them kegged up and put in our walk-in for some conditioning.
All right, coming on in with whip number 4. So, secret ingredients on this guy. We had orange crush, we had some ginger ale, we had some Sprite. Then we also had frozen fruit consisting of strawberries, pineapple, mango, and lime jello.
See that lime jello.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever had a beer that layered quite this crisply.
Do get a rich Karkar orange in this.
This one's really interesting to me. I almost get a mixed drink aspect on it, so I get some of the, definitely that carbonation that you're talking about from the sodas, I'm guessing, and then the orange with a little bit of an alcohol heat that's definitely not unpleasant, but not something that I'm used to tasting in a beer.
Carbonic bite on the soda definitely comes through. It's unique. I get a touch of look at the frozen fruit that comes through.
Yeah.
Where it's like just a touch overripe strawberry.
The jello in this is really interesting. It sort of smoothed out the mouthfeel. I get a lot of the kind of creaminess from maybe a little bit of lactose in here, along with the jello that I think plays really nicely with all the fruit.
Beer number 2.
I can definitely get the lactose in the nose on this one. The fruit comes through. Pineapple mango, for sure.
Definitely compared to the first one, this one is a lot more tart. I get a lot more of like the mango and pineapple, almost a juice concentrate sort of a taste. So really, really fruity, a lot of that tropical character.
Yeah, this is fun. Guava really comes through nicely. Fairly balanced. Touch on the puckering dry end.
So you've got 2 things that we need you to grade. One is which one best embodies the theme / the ingredients, and 2, which one as a beer by itself tastes the best.
I will say I really want to chug this just so I can get to the jello, which probably embodies the theme pretty well.
For me, I feel like this one right here is a little bit more crushable. It's a little bit more thin in the body. Where at a Spodi or a kegger, if you will, you just pound this. But this one is more the embodiment of a Spodi, where it's juicy and it's all mixed up in a big 5-gallon
Yeah.
igloo cooler.
This definitely tastes like the fruit that you don't realize is gonna mess you up until it's too late. Yes. To me, it's the layered, for sure.
Layered is the Spodi inspired drink. Anthony?
It's a close one for me, but I gotta go with the Spodi style, where I'm expecting to get all that fruit flavor right in the nose, right out of the gate, and then with the mouthfeel, it's definitely a full mouthfeel with that drink.
I feel like while they're both really, really tasty, this is one that I keep going back to. I keep getting some layers in it that I'm not expecting. I find some really interesting different flavor profiles in that. And to me, this one is more balanced in terms of both tasting like beer and tasting like fruit. Whereas this one is delicious, but definitely very fruit, very Spodi. So I think as far as a beer itself goes, this has my win. I think it is.
I gotta say it's a divided house here, because I do feel like this one, it does have the depths of flavor. Really excellent nose, but it's a touch thin for my liking. And I think this one brings a lot of character, a lot of different, layers of flavor. And it's not even just the Jello in this one that I like so much. So,
shall we?
That's it for this one. I think the general consensus was that Tim's beer spoke Spodi a little bit more, better emphasized the ingredients. I think both of them did a fantastic job. The general consensus on which was the better beer, that was a split house, and I kind of agree with that. I can see where one of them is maybe something that you want to drink a little bit more of, and the other one is just a better overall beer. If you wanted the one-off, might be the one you want to go for. If you guys are interested in trying this same style of challenge, go ahead and use the same ingredients and share it with social media. We'll go ahead and post it out to anybody that is following us. And if you want to see more of this, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, because we like talking to people. It's super fun. And we'll see you next time that we do a Will It Beer challenge, which the two tasters, Anthony and Rachel, for this challenge will be brewing head-to-head in the very next one. Cheers, guys. Wa-pow. Wa-pow. Punching things. Just misses completely.
It makes you feel so good. Ooh, ooh. That's really warm on my butt.
Look at him. So majestic in his natural habitat. Watching me, watching you,
Sweet Caroline.
ba ba ba.